SLIT 2022 main intake for student admission starts now.
How will China assist Sri Lanka in overcoming economic challenges?
I believe one of the biggest experiences we learned from the last decades is that no matter how the domestic and international situation changed in Sri Lanka, China is always a good friend and a true friend of Sri Lanka. As I have just mentioned, China and Sri Lanka are good friends who have overcome many difficulties together. Every time Sri Lanka wants help, China has never been absent. Since after the pandemic, despite the fact that the international rating agencies have downgraded the sovereign ratings of Sri Lanka, China has been firm in supporting Sri Lanka in combating the COVID-19 pandemic, rejuvenizing the economy and supporting the livelihood of the Sri Lankan people. China has provided altogether $2.8 billion in financial assistance to Sri Lanka, and this kind of assistance is not affiliated with any additional conditions. We also encourage the Chinese companies to invest in Sri Lanka, especially in the port city in Colombo and the Hambantota port. Despite the challenges posed by the pandemic, large-scale infrastructure projects by the Chinese companies are moving smoothly. The Sri Lankan government also sent a new request of $1 billion that came in as a financial facility and $1.5 million as buyer's credit. The relevant authorities in China are studying the request.
A cabinet subcommittee has granted approval to fast-track a free trade agreement with China. The ambassador responded to this matter today.
Signing a free trade agreement is a trend in the world. For countries like Laos, Cambodia, although these have a lower development level when compared to Sri Lanka, they have benefited a lot by signing an FTA with China. If the bilateral FTA is signed between the two countries, Sri Lankan products will enhance their exports to the Chinese market. Ceylon tea, gems and jewelry and the clothing from Sri Lanka are very popular among Chinese consumers. It's also good for the diversification of the Sri Lankan export market. Of course, you are concerned from the Sri Lankan side as for the FTA negotiations. We have repeatedly said that all the concerns would be discussed. In one word, China would never take advantage of Sri Lanka by signing a bilateral FTA agreement.
However, what benefits has Sri Lanka gained after developing the Mattala airport, the Hambantota port and the Lotus Tower together with China? Journalists questioned the ambassador on how Sri Lanka is dealing with India and China at present.
This is not the first time that China has attempted to do projects in the north. Even under the previous administration, you attempted to do rural road development, and there were concerns expressed by India. What I would like to know is, does China feel that India or anybody is blocking your entry into the north and east through development projects? Is China concerned about geopolitically, geostrategically, about India's growing presence in the north and east?
First of all, please let me reiterate that China and India are two ancient civilizations. We are two close neighbors, and both countries are facing a common task of development. We believe China and India view each other as opportunists to develop and not obstacles to development, and not as threats.
චීනය අපිට බොහොම ලොකු දායකත්වයක් ලබා දෙනවා. නමුත් මේ අවස්ථාවේදී අපිට තේරෙන දෙයක් තමයි ඉන්දියාව තමයි අපේ සහයට ඇවිල්ලා ඉන්නේ. අපි දකින දෙයක් මේ වර්තමාන මුදල් අමාත්‍යවරයා එසිල් රාජපක්ෂ මහතා චීනය සමග ඊතරම් හොඳ සම්බන්ධතාවයක් පවත්වාගෙන යන්නේ නැහැ කියන හිතීම අපිට නිකන් බැලුවම දෙන්න තියෙන දෙයක්. ඒ සම්බන්ධයෙන් චීනයේ අදහස මොකක්ද?
We know that Sri Lanka is facing various kinds of difficulties, and all the sincere help and assistance to Sri Lanka should be encouraged.
能够帮助是真正的帮助斯里兰卡朋友，我觉得都应该得到欢迎和鼓励。